Welcome to the Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives. Each week we're here talking about the wrestling headlines and covering everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and keep up with wrestling news and our show. Hi, this is Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast for 4/22/2014. I am your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Live. Yeah, just got a little shaky cam going on today. I'm going to try a little different things with this tablet and see how good we can do. My son is here. He says hello, so you'll be hearing him in the back here, so just want to let you know that, there is a child in the room, so we're going to get to business. This is a shout out to Nacy Grace. First of all, you're not a reporter, and you're not much of anything, to be frankly honest. And this is in your face. The Ultimate Warrior, one of the most celebrated names in U.S. professional wrestling, died of natural causes attributed to heart disease. An Arizona coroner's office said Tuesday. An autopsy on the 54-year-old wrestler, whose given name was James Hellwig, confirmed his cause of death to be arthrosclerotic cardiovascular disease, according to Maricopa County Office of the Medical Examiner. So in other words, he did not die from anything to do with drugs. He was not on drugs at that time. Now, I'm pretty sure, as a lot of wrestlers have said, including DDP, who you actually blindsided, that was a football reference, by the way. Including him said that, those who did anything back in the day may suffer the consequences of that. But at the time, he was on any medication that he wasn't prescribed. So, kiss our ass, Nacy Grace. Retire, go home, and please don't show your face on TV again. That would be really, really cool. Shock. Whatever you call what you do, shock reporting, and you're messing with the wrong people. You said Owen Hart's name on there. This is a family who sued WWE and won. I would be very careful what I say from now on about Owen Hart and the Owen Hart incident and his family. Okay, moving right along. I got some information on Global Force Wrestling. The more positive news, Global Force Wrestling, Jarrett and Broom, who is said to be his partners, have over 500 performers who they can pool for talent. This is per Raja.com, displayed a number of Global Force Wrestling tweets on Monday that showed names like Lance Hoyt, Carlito Colon, Jay Lethal, Mickey James, hinting that they may be joining GFW. If they get names like these, they can't really ignore the actual wrestling, which, Jeff Jarrett and him have said that basically they would be, I guess, doing a lot more interactive stuff and maybe not as much in-ring stuff. They would be spreading it out through the show. Not sure how that's going to go over, but we wish them luck. A lot more news to go. Dave Meltzer, yeah, I know, of the Wrestling Observer, yeah, I know, reported last week that Sting had finally signed a deal with join WWE, which has been rumored for months. Meltzer reported that Steve Borden, a.k.a. Sting, has inked a deal with WWE, including television time. Subsequent reports stated that this was not true, but Sting finally made an appearance in an official WWE capacity on the WWE Network on Tuesday night. The company announced on Monday Night Raw that the network would be airing a 4-part series in memory of the Ultimate Warrior this week, approximately titled Warrior Week. Sting made a surprise appearance on the first installment to pay his respects to his friends and former partner. This appearance seems to indicate that Sting and WWE have an official relationship of some kind, but no confirmation has come yet. And of course, you know who this come from. But I have heard it other places, so, you know. WrestlingDVDnews.com basically are kind of wondering if maybe the debut of Sting, you know, isn't close or imminent. They reported that UK retail site Zavia has listed a WWE-produced Sting DVD and Blu-ray release that is listed with a September pre-order date. Sting recently appeared in a documentary about the Ultimate Warrior, as I just said, and with a new commentary from him, which confirmed that he has signed a deal with WWE. Like I said, none of this it's obvious that he's working with them. Whether he has a wrestling contract or what is in that contract hasn't been released yet. There were plans for WWE to release a Sting DVD back in 2008, but that didn't happen, likely because he wasn't part of the company at that point. Excuse me. Now that there are so many things pointing to him being in WWE, it makes a lot of sense that they would release a DVD about his career. Considering how awesome most WWE documentary DVD releases are, it makes a lot of sense that, you know, they would do one on Sting, you know. Like I said before last week, WWE owns NWA, WCW tape library. They could put one together, you know, at the drop of a hat. You know, and I think that you know, there's a lot of guesswork. There's a lot of people saying he's never going to the WWE. He's never say never. His mantra: say hello, man. Say hey. Yeah. His mantra is the only thing you can say about the Stinger is nothing is for sure. That statement in itself basically says that Sting never says never. Nothing is for sure. And you're sitting at home, like most of us are, trying to guess. If the news is not out there, you cannot say that he'll never go to WWE. He'll never go to WWE. You never say never. Okay? It can't be done. You can't say never. Okay? What is he going to do? Is he going to stay in TNA, who's obviously having problems with the multiple meetings with Dixie Carter at the head office, with their lawyers actually being in their base of operations? You know, you expected him to stay in TNA? I mean, you got people like, I heard Christopher Daniels may be gone. You got people jumping that like a sinking ship. But you got people jumping it just like it's a sinking ship. What did you expect him to do? Yes, he could have stayed in the Indies. He could have wrestled for Indies. And you know how much I back indie wrestling. Indie wrestling is the backbone of anything you see in the mainstream. Most of those people wouldn't even be in WWE if they hadn't started in indie wrestling first. Okay? You got guys like Chance Prophet. You got guys like Scotty Riggs. You got guys that are out there, Boogeyman. People that are out there still fighting to keep wrestling alive. If it wasn't for them, because everybody can't go see a WWE show. Okay? Most people don't even think about it. Because if you get a seat, you're going to have to watch it with binoculars. You're going to miss half of the show. You know, yes, it's great if you're going to get to go, but you know what I mean? Most people go see indie wrestling more than they do WWE unless they're watching it on the network or they're watching it home. So you can't say that, you know, he couldn't have went to indie. Yeah, but you can't expect him to stay there. He has to go to the WWE. If he wants to be in the Hall of Fame, if he wants to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, he needs to go. And like I've said before, think about it. He's already got an NWA ring. I mean, NWA. Somebody in NWA is talking about me. Anyway, he's already got a TNA Hall of Fame ring. He was with the Ultimate Warrior, with the Blade Runners. That's one. He was with the NWO Wolfpack. That's two. WWE Hall of Fame. In himself. Okay? He could get one by himself just for being Sting. And I want you to think about this. At one point, very briefly, Sting was listed as a 4 horseman. That's 4, count them, 5 altogether rings that he could get, Hall of Fame rings. I mean, 4 WWE and 1 TNA. He would be a 5-time Hall of Famer. You've got all this stuff fixing to come out, and they're pumping it into the network, one fight after the other, one right after the other. All this WCW stuff is heading to the network. Who better to represent this WCW stuff than Sting? The person to up until now never left. He was there from the time he started in WCW till WCW ended. I know I've got the tape of it. I've got a VCR tape with the last match, the last Nitro. He was there. Him and Ric Flair ended it. So, you know, who to say that he didn't need to go to team? You know, if you're a true fan, you watch him anywhere he goes. It's as simple as that. If you watch him anywhere he goes. This is another thing. Okay, I watch Total Divas. But in my mind, Total Divas is a reality show. You have to take Total Divas with a grain of salt. Okay? Some people on reality TV are nothing like what they really are. And this last week's show, the Usos, one of the Uso brothers married his wife, married his girlfriend, and Rikishi did not show up. Now, Rikishi has stated on multiple social media that reality TV is not reality. What happens on reality TV, you can't trust it, okay? So here's what you need to think about, okay? I have seen Rikishi say that family is everything. And being that I know a couple, I grew up and in my lifetime knew some people of Samoan descent, they are all about family. If you don't even know any Samoan people, all you've got to do is watch Dog the Bounty Hunter. They live in Hawaii. There are Samoan people everywhere. They are all about family. There was a reason he was not on camera. It's called drama. Okay? You can't take what's on Total Divas, and I'm pretty sure Joe Cronin and a bunch of other people will agree with me. You can't go by what's on reality TV. It just doesn't work. Because that is reality TV. If reality TV is a representative of reality, then you can use this analogy. Comic books represent a true hero. We know that's bull. The true heroes are the ones that are in Afghanistan and places like that getting their head shot at to keep you free. It's simple as that. But anyway, speaking of TNA, TNA's ratings, this last show was 0.83. It was down from the 1.2 rating. I wonder why. Who was on this week? Oh, Dixie Carter. I thought she was gone. Well, that didn't work, did it? Dixie Carter was actually on the show, and look at that, busted the ratings down. I'm sorry. I do not like Dixie Carter. I really don't. I don't think she needs to be on TV because, frankly, her voice makes all the dogs in the neighborhood scream and holler. Okay? She is almost, except the fact that I actually like Vickie Guerrero, her voice is more irritating than Vickie's high voice. You know? And I really don't understand why they put her on TV. She's trying to be Stephanie McMahon. This is not a good role model. Stephanie McMahon's acting ability on camera is not exactly that great. Okay, Dixie Carter? You're using the wrong role model. The best person that you need to be doing, as far as a female, would be Vicky Guerrero. I just don't understand why. That she's trying to act like Stephanie McMahon. You're not. If you were, you'd be married to Triple H. I don't think that would happen. Anyway, because frankly, Stephanie's better looking than you two. Sorry. You're not a MILF, if that's what you're thinking. No. Anyway, but, you know, there was a lot of stuff went on Raw. There's a lot of people upset because Kane interfered with Daniel Bryan. And speaking of Daniel Bryan, we're going to take a real quiet moment right now and wish Daniel Bryan the best of the past after the passing of his dad. I know from reading some of the things that I've read that they were extremely close. And all I got to say, man, is you've got a big heart to show up on TV after your dad died. I don't think I could say I could do the same thing. I really don't. And our prayers and thoughts are with you and your wife and your family. And from what I hear and what I've read about him, you were right by saying that, you know, the world's missing a big thing right now. So, you know, our thoughts and prayers with you. But apparently what they did was they had Kane attack Daniel Bryan. This would keep him off of TV until right before the pay-per-view, probably a week before the pay-per-view. Give him time to mourn, you know. So that's kind of nice of them, I guess. You know, being that, you know, they kind of, you know, I don't know. We know Vince cares about his folks. Now, I don't know about Triple H and him, but I know Vince cares about his wrestlers. He cares about his superstars. They say the person that you see backstage is nothing like what you see on camera. But they had some interesting stuff go on. The Wyatts and the Shield. I mean, well, let me back up here. You know, Evolution is and then Shield. I think maybe they're doing. A lot of people are saying they're doing it to build up the Shield again. They keep talking about a face turn for the Wyatts, and the only way that would really happen that I could see is hold on. The only thing I could see that the reason why they would do that is there's a lot of talk about John Cena joining the Wyatts, and I don't know. I guess maybe Daniel Bryan was a trial run, but you know it kind of makes wonders if he isn't going to join them. I don't know. Have no idea. SmackDown. You know, there's some things going on, but it really wasn't nothing big. TNA, well, you got Sting gone. Angle just came back from an injury, and you had Dixie Carter. And frankly, once I saw her, I just wasn't interested anymore. Been kind of busy this week, so I didn't really get a chance to sit down. Once I saw her, I was like, you know, I think that's enough. But I would think that they need to start focusing on what the fans want. And people are leaving TNA like just, I don't know. I really don't. But that's pretty much what I got today. I had the video kind of stop there for a minute, so I don't really know how long the show is. But as always, I want to say something about my sponsors. You can see all their information at the end, but I'll mention their names. ZachPackPromotions.com, who does the webpage for MayhemNews.com, and that's Mayhem with a little dash, news.com. I want to thank me and my wife have a thing, Fight Disability Slurs. We're trying to stop people using disability slurs, but we're also trying to stop people from using slurs, period. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. I want to thank Throttle, the band who gives us the music that you hear at the first of this video. That is New Blood by Throttle. We appreciate for our theme song. They have a new album out, Razor Wire Finish Line, and they're doing a bunch of stuff in their surrounding area. So if you happen to be in that area, You can check them out on Facebook, Amazon, and iTunes. Also, I want to give a shout out to Joe Cronin, the Joe Cronin Show on YouTube. He is where I want to be. He has a great show. He's funny as hell. He gives a lot of great information, and he is where I want to be. So always give a shout out to him. If you are coming from his show and you've seen our show mentioned, I appreciate it, Joe. I really do. And also want to send a shout out to Blast 52. That is at Blast 52, or you can follow their drummer Stephanie at Blast 52 Drummer. They are an Irish band. They have a lot of stuff going on. Hope to come here to the States pretty soon. It'll be good to see them. But you can find their stuff. I've got their iTunes and Amazon links on a ad board at the end of the show. So make sure you watch. And I also want to say something to a group of girls, Girls with Big Guns Clan, Call of Duty. They're on PS2, PS3, PS4, and are the PlayStation Network. They're also on Xbox. So check them out. Look them up on YouTube. They got a great Instagram account, and they also have a guys version too. They have a brother clan. I can't remember the name of it right now. I don't have but you can see their stuff, and they mention them a lot. So that's been the show for today. I appreciate it. Sorry it was so late in the week. I had some doctor's appointments and had some stuff going on this week, so I hope to get back on schedule next week on Tuesday. But as I said, this has been Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast for 4/22/2014, and as I said before, I have been your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives, and we're out. Welcome to the Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. T-Mib Lives. Each week we're here talking about the wrestling headlines and covering everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and keep up with wrestling news and our show.